Okay, let's get ready to rumble. There was nothing quite like settling in on Saturday evenings to enjoy some classic martial arts action. Chuck Norris starred in Walker, Texas Ranger for its entire duration from 1993 to 2001, and while the acting could sometimes be exaggerated and the storylines frequently repetitive and occasionally far-fetched, this series was a knockout of entertainment. Right from the start, viewers knew who the heroes were and who the villains were. Most of the antagonists on the program drove Fords, while the Rangers and their crew favored Chevrolets. Yet Chuck delivered on his promise of a show that promoted strong family values. It expertly tackled serious contemporary issues, such as gang violence and substance abuse, while also showing respect for various cultures and religions, a tricky balance for such an action-packed series. Clarence Gilliard Jr. as James Trivette. James was Walker's partner and the other half of this Ranger duo. Incredibly compassionate and particularly skilled with technology-assisted arrests, they were one of the finest pairs since Starsky and Hutch. You might recall Clarence, now 66, appearing frequently in the past, his first television appearance being on Different Strokes in 1981. He landed a significant role as Officer Benjamin Webster in the popular series Chips, which was a major breakthrough for him. For more details on the remaining cast members, don't forget to explore our Chips deep dive coming soon. Clarence also played a significant part in the Andy Griffith-led show, Matlock. In addition to his role in Walker, Texas Ranger, he also had two remarkable performances in major blockbuster films, portraying the terrorist computer expert in the original Die Hard, 1988, and prior to that, as Lieutenant Marcus Sundown Williams in Top Gun. Even in his mid-60s, he's still active in the industry, recently wrapping up filming for a movie titled The Driver, where he starred alongside Robert Carradine from Revenge of the Nerds. His most recent appearances on the big screen include roles in The Beast and the Sector, both 2016, and The Perfect Race, 2019. On television, he portrayed Fletcher Reese in the holiday television movie Christmas on the Coast, 2018. In his personal life, he serves as an advisor to the Communications Committee of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Gilliard was married twice and had 6 children. His first marriage, to Catherine Dutko in 1989, ended in divorce, and he tied the knot with his second spouse, Elena Castillo, in 2001. He served as an advisor to the Communications Committee of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Following a prolonged illness, Gilliard passed away at his residence in Las Vegas, Nevada, on November 23, 2022, at the age of 66. Noble Willingham as C.D. Parker. Having already enjoyed a lengthy acting journey, Walker, Texas Ranger served as the ideal farewell for Noble Willingham. He assumed the role of C.D. Parker, a former Texas Ranger turned bar owner, known for offering wisdom to Cordell Walker and occasionally lending a hand on cases. Before joining the series, Willingham had appeared in successful films like Paper Moon, portraying Mr. Robertson, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective as the owner of the Miami Dolphins, and Good Morning Vietnam, where he supported Private Cronauer as General Taylor. Additionally, Willingham made several guest appearances on popular 80s television shows such as Dallas, where he portrayed a U.S. Senator, the A-Team, and even an episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation. Willingham portrayed Parker until the penultimate season of Walker in 2000, when he decided to step away from acting to pursue a political career, running for the U.S. House of Representatives. Unfortunately, Walker, Texas Ranger, marked the conclusion of Willingham's television acting journey as he passed away in 2004 of natural causes at the age of 72. Floyd Red Crow Westerman as Uncle Ray. Although Floyd Red Crow Westerman was nearly 60 years old when he became part of the cast of Walker, Texas Ranger, he had only recently ventured into acting, with about 5 years of experience under his belt. By that time, Westerman had built an impressive portfolio, appearing on early 90s television series like MacGyver, L.A. Law, and Northern Exposure. In Walker, Texas Ranger, he portrayed the character of Uncle Ray Firewalker, the uncle of Cordell Walker who had a significant influence on him during earlier seasons. However, Westerman's tenure on the show was brief, limited to the pilot season and the first season. Following his departure from Walker, Texas Ranger, Westerman embraced a diverse range of roles, including portraying Albert Hosteen on The X-Files, George Littlefox on Dharma, and Greg, and making a guest appearance as Ernie Two Feathers on the late 90s series The Pretender. As the early 2000s approached, Westerman's acting career began to taper off, culminating in his final role as Chief Running Bear in the 2008 film Swing Vote. He passed away in 2007 at the age of 71, succumbing to leukemia. Cherie J. Wilson as Alex Cahill. When Walker, Texas Ranger, began its journey, Cherie J. Wilson had recently concluded a 5-year run on the renowned soap opera Dallas, where she portrayed the character April Ewing. She received a nomination for a Soap Opera Digest Award for her portrayal of this villainous role. Transitioning to the side of justice, Wilson assumed the character of Assistant DA Alex Cahill, responsible for prosecuting the wrongdoers encountered by Walker and Trivette. Wilson's Cahill also blossomed into a romantic interest for Chuck Norris's Walker, culminating in their eventual marriage. Wilson remained committed to Walker, Texas Ranger, throughout its 8-season run. Subsequently, she pivoted her focus towards the realm of cinema. Wilson secured leading roles in independent films such as Killing Down and Anna's Storm, titled Hell's Reign in the UK. Additionally, Wilson delivered prominent performances in Christmas Bell and A Mermaid for Christmas, with the former currently accessible for streaming on Hulu. In more recent endeavors, she graced the screen in Flip Turn, a narrative centered around a boy following the footsteps of his gold medal-winning grandfather as a swimmer. While Wilson hasn't made prominent television appearances since Walker, Texas Ranger, it's evident that her acting journey continues to thrive. Judson Mills as Francis Gage. In his previous role as Hutch Hutchinson on As the World Turns, Judson Mills was no stranger to the acting scene. When he joined the cast of Walker, Texas Ranger, Mills brought with him a wealth of experience. He entered the series towards its conclusion, featuring in the last 2 seasons as Texas Ranger Francis Gage, a rookie under the guidance of Cordell Walker. Mills injected new energy into the show and remained until its final episode aired in 2001. Following his tenure on the series, Mills secured a significant role in The President's Man, A Line in the Sand, portraying Deke Slater, the assistant to Joshua McCord. Beyond his work on Walker, Texas Ranger, Mills made notable guest appearances on various television series throughout the 2000s and early 2010s. He portrayed Keith Wetzel on an episode of The X-Files, Ty Radcliffe on an installment of CSI Miami, and portrayed a beach sheriff on Disney's The Lab Rats. Mills also depicted Deputy Rowe in the first season of HBO's Westworld, meeting his demise in a rather unexpected manner via an exploding cigar. Throughout his personal life, Mills has been through 3 marriages. Initially wed to actress Christian Torres on May 10, 1990, their union ended in divorce in 1993. In 1997, Mills tied the knot with Julie Mills, welcoming their son, Dalton Mills. However, the couple parted ways in 2002. Subsequently, on June 13, 2005, Mills exchanged vows with Morgan Ray Mills, who later gave birth to their 2 sons, Jagger Mills and Cash Mills. Outside of his acting pursuits, Mills enjoys hobbies such as hunting, fishing, football, and taekwondo, Nia Peoples as Sidney Cooke. In spite of boasting nearly 2 decades of acting experience before Walker, Texas Ranger Nia Peoples was primarily recognized for her accomplishments in the music industry. Her chart-topping tracks, Difficulty, and Urban of Fantasies enjoyed immense popularity in the latter part of the 1980s. Peoples brought a fresh perspective to the series by portraying Texas Ranger Sidney Cooke, a newcomer partnered with Cordell Walker. Following the conclusion of the series, Peoples embarked on a string of guest appearances in early 2000s television programs such as The Division, Andromeda, and Hair Salon. Additionally, Peoples secured a role as Karen Taylor on the renowned soap opera The Youthful and the Restless. However, her portrayal of Pam Fields, the mother of Emily Fields, in Pretty Little Liars, remains her most notable role. Pam's actions, particularly her decision to send Emily's girlfriend Maya away under the guise of drug possession due to her inability to accept her daughter's sexuality, introduced significant tension in the series. This strained the relationship between Emily and Pam, but Pam ultimately reconciled with her daughter and defended her against homophobic remarks from another parent. Pretty Little Liars garnered immense acclaim, reaffirming Nia Peoples' exceptional acting prowess. Frank Salcedo as White Eagle. Frank Salcedo portrayed White Eagle, the spiritual guide of the Cherokee Reservation where Walker was raised, making his debut in Season 3. Salcedo served as the head of the J. Silverheels Drama Academy in Los Angeles, where he pursued his passion for acting. As an active member of the Screen Actors Guild, he contributed to more than 50 films and supported fellow Native American actors in the entertainment industry. His role as White Bird in the 1975 TV film I Will Refrain from Fighting Forever showcased his early talent. Salcedo made a guest appearance in a single episode of the short-lived 1977 series, Code R. One of his earliest film roles was as Ocasio in The Spirit Dance, 1980. Salcedo held the title of hereditary leader of the Wapo tribe in Sonoma County, California. At the time of his passing, Salcedo, alongside the Mishiwal Wapo tribe, was engaged in a legal battle for federal recognition. He was married to Leta Stevens and shared 2 daughters, Lynette and Eugenia, as well as 2 sons, Ramon and Rick, with her. He was preceded in death by his parents, his brother Delano, his sister Helen Rose Hageman, and his spouse. Aside from being known as Grey Wolf, Salcedo was also affectionately called Beverly Hills. He passed away on July 3, 2009, in Manteca, California, at the age of 80. He is survived by 5 sisters, 4 brothers, and 4 children. James Woolcheck as Trent Malloy. Aspiring actor during the late 80s and early 90s, James Woolcheck had previously secured supporting roles in the final phases of Ryan's Hope, a renowned soap opera which aired from the mid-70s until 1989, and the more prominent and enduring As the World Turns. Woolcheck then landed a role as Trent Malloy, a supporting character skilled in martial arts and former pupil of Cordell Walker on Walker, Texas Ranger. Despite not being a member of law enforcement, Malloy's expertise aids Walker and his team in apprehending numerous criminals. Although Woolcheck's portrayal of Malloy only spanned 13 episodes, the character garnered positive reception, prompting the development of the spin-off series Sons of Thunder, in which Woolcheck starred. Regrettably, the show was axed after 1 season. Following his departure from Walker, Texas Ranger, Woolcheck has not assumed a recurring role on any television series, with the majority of his work consisting of appearances in minor TV films, such as 2009's Hydra and 2011's Love's Christmas Journey. James Drury as Captain Tom Price. James Drury portrayed Texas Ranger Captain Tom Price, the supervisor of Walker and Trivette, but his appearance was limited to the pilot season. Drury's acting journey commenced at the age of 12 when he took part in a traveling company's rendition of Life with Father. He secured a contract with MGM Studios in 1954 and landed minor roles in various films. Transitioning to 20th Century Fox, he featured in Love Me Tender, 1956, and Bernardine, 1957. On Christmas Eve in 1959, Drury made an appearance in 10 Feet of Nothing on the syndicated anthology series Death Valley Days, hosted by Stanley Andrews, portraying the character of a young miner named Joe Plato. Drury tied the knot with Cordell Walker on February 7, 1957, and they had two sons, Timothy and James III. However, their marriage came to an end on November 23, 1964. Subsequently, on April 27, 1968, Drury exchanged vows with Phyllis Jacqueline Mitchell, but they parted ways on January 30, 1979. His third marriage was to Carl Ann Head on July 30, 1979, lasting until her passing on August 25, 2019. Rod Taylor as Gordon Cahill. Rod Taylor portrayed Gordon Cahill, the once estranged father of Alex, who is also an attorney. Taylor gained extensive experience in radio and theater in Australia, where he worked on Blue Hills and played the role of Tarzan. Earlier in his career, he supported himself by working at Mark Foy's department store in Sydney, where he designed and painted window displays during the daytime. His first spouse was model Peggy Williams, 1951 to 1954. They divorced following accusations of domestic violence. Taylor later stated that they ended their marriage because they believed they were too young to maintain a healthy relationship. Taylor was romantically involved with Swedish actress Anita Ekberg in the early 1960s and was briefly engaged to her. He was also involved with model Pat Sheehan in the late 1960s. Taylor's second marriage was to model Mary Hylam, which lasted from 1963 until their divorce in 1969. The couple had one daughter, former CNN financial reporter Felicia Taylor, 1964 to 2023. Taylor purchased a residence in Palm Springs, California, in 1967. He wedded his third spouse, Carol Kikamura, in 1980. They had previously dated in the early 1960s when she worked as an extra on his television series Hong Kong. After rekindling their relationship in 1971, they dated for another 9 years before tying the knot. Taylor passed away from a heart attack at his residence, surrounded by his loved ones, on January 7, 2015, in Beverly Hills, California, just 4 days before his 85th birthday. Marco Sanchez as Detective Carlos Sandoval. Marco Sanchez portrayed Detective Carlos Sandoval, a detective for Dallas PD and the close friend of Trent Malloy. He frequently collaborates with Walker and Trivette on investigations. Sanchez appeared in recurring roles during seasons 4 to 5 and was a main cast member in season 6. Sanchez pursued theater studies during his junior high and high school years and graduated from the UCLA School of Theater, Film, and Television in 1992. His cinematic credits encompass Showtime's The Last Debate, directed by John Badham, Illusion, crafted and directed by Michael Gourgian, The Rookie, starring Dennis Quaid, and more recently in Super 8 and Star Trek Into Darkness, both helmed by J.J. Abrams. In 2006, Marco co-established Lyceum Films alongside actor-director Michael Gourgian and Noah Veneklassen, the founder of Muse Media Center. Marco's production achievements with Lyceum include Players Club, 5 Wishes, The War Prayer, for which he also penned the adapted screenplay, The Shift, and Tales of Everyday Magic. Chuck Norris as Cordell Walker. Chuck Norris portrayed Cordell Walker, the iconic Texas Ranger. As a martial arts expert, Norris stands out as the most renowned actor in the series. Renowned for his performances in action-packed films like The Way of the Dragon, Lone Wolf McQuade, and Firewalker, Chuck Norris significantly contributes to the enduring appeal of Walker, Texas Ranger. Following the conclusion of Walker, Texas Ranger, Chuck Norris continued his acting journey, taking on leading roles in independent films such as The Bells of Innocence and The Cutter. Norris also made a cameo appearance as himself in the comedy movie Dodgeball, providing Peter LaFleur the encouragement needed to triumph in a dodgeball tournament. Although Norris appears to have scaled back his acting pursuits since his role in The Expendables 2 premiered in 2012, he has remained active with guest spots on television series like The Goldbergs, Hawaii 5-0, and even TNA Impact. Wrestling, resembling WWE in style. While Chuck Norris may no longer dominate the action genre as he did in the past, His mere presence evokes fond memories of his illustrious career in the 80s and 90s. And there you have it, folks. The cast of Walker, Texas Ranger, then and now. It's incredible to see how time has treated our beloved actors. But remember, aging is a natural part of life, and it's important to embrace it with grace and acceptance. Our favorite stars may look a little different now, but their talent and contributions to the show remain timeless.